Hey guys, Dr. Bert Solomon with Knoxville Spine Sports, and today I'm having a conversation with Dr. Connor, and we are talking about low back pain, specifically mechanical low back pain, and maybe some 5 stretches that might be helpful for patients that are watching this video, and then just our thoughts on low back pain in general. So, Dr. Connor, what are your thoughts about low back pain? What is the biggest cause of low back pain? What do you see in your office relative to low back pain?
I would say probably the most common thing that I see, especially when it comes to mechanical low back pain, is like jamming of the facet joints, which are basically like the joints of the lumbar spine, well, the full spine, but specifically with the low back, the lumbar spine, where they kind of overlap on top of one another, sometimes just based off of posture, activities we do like day to day and everything. Sometimes those can get kind of jammed a little bit too much into extension, cause a lot of inflammation and irritation in the low back. And I'd say that's probably one of the most common things that we see in terms of mechanical low back.
And so you would refer to that as mechanical low back pain.
Correct.
Yeah, and so that's really just mechanical, meaning movement of the joints.
Correct.
Just think of a door hinge or some kind of machine that operates. Like you're going to get pain associated with those joints. Mm-hmm. They're going to get jammed together because of whatever you do. You're working out, you're driving to Texas, and it's a long drive. Or whatever causes it. Most low back pain is generated in the facet joints. It's referred to as mechanical low back pain, and that's the main. There are other things. There's disc bulges. There's different types of diseases such as ankylosing spondylitis. There are a panoply of things. There's a myriad of things that can cause low back pain. But in our office, specifically as chiropractors, we see a lot of mechanical low back pain, specifically from the facets, causing just dysfunctions. Things just don't bend right. They don't move right. Things swell up. Think about a jammed thumb or a jammed finger. Correct. It's going to swell. It's going to hurt when you bend it. It's also going to hurt if you push on the actual finger in any way. Just think about that being in your low back. You've got pressure from gravity pushing you down. You're just increasing pressure with any kind of movement of your spine. It's hard to move any part of your body without stabilizing your low back.
Yeah.
And so what are the 5 most common exercises that you would maybe give patients at home, or maybe even somebody watching this video? What are some 5 exercises that you could say, hey, go do these and let's see how you do?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say in my opinion, well, outside of like certain sports and everything like that, even then, like more often than not, what contributes to that mechanical low back pain, like I said, kind of those facets being jammed, is kind of like movement dysfunctions, right? I think more often than not, people tend to get into stabilization strategies where they're using more of their erector spinae muscles, the muscles that go up along the back of the spine, more so than your core musculature to stabilize the low back, which creates a lot of unnecessary compression in the lumbar spine. And so typically what I'll do is just starting out, especially if it's really tender or what have you, to move around, I'll just do some posterior pelvic tilts while they're laying on their back, which is essentially where you're laying flat on your back and then you're trying to tense your core to smush your low back into the ground.
Yeah, just push that low back straight into the ground.
Yeah.
And then try to arch that real big and then try to flatten that.
Yep.
So you're just kind of wiggling your pelvis,
Correct.
Trying to increase some mobility, trying to work those hinges,
Yes.
so to speak, just to increase some movement in that area.
Yep. As well as increasing some contraction or activity of the core musculature. Because if you're doing it correctly, you should be engaging
That's
the
right.
core musculature quite a bit.
And so what I heard you say is really important, that like most of the time, this mechanical low back pain was caused by aberrant movement patterns, like these dysfunctional movement patterns. You know, everyone tries to brace at the gym, but they don't know how to brace properly.
Yep.
And so they're working hard,
Yep.
They're just not working hard on the right muscles
response,
with the right patterns,
Correct.
so to speak. And then these pelvic tilts help kind of re-educate our brain. They re-educate our body. They re-educate that joint to, hey, this is how we move, right?
Yep.
And so that really helps just neurologically, physiologically, just kind of pump that area, trying to push some of that swelling out, trying to increase good blood flow while laying on your back.
Correct.
Your spine's not compressed.
Yes.
It's incredibly efficient and yet very relaxing. What are some other exercises?
I would say some of the other ones that I'll typically use, kind of along the same lines of that one. The McGill curl up is one that I'll use frequently as well. So that's, once again, laying on your back. You are actually trying to push the low back into the ground a little bit, but you're also lifting upper body slightly up off the ground too, once again engaging more core musculature. And then I would say too, another one, I mean, really the McGill's Big Three in general is probably a good one, but like the bird dogs, once again, focusing on pelvic and low back positioning throughout the movement. I'd say a lot of times most people tend to hyperextend still whenever they're doing it, right?
Yeah,
Which isn't quite right.
Yep.
And so most people are like, oh man, this exercise is easy. And then once you reposition them to the right spot, they're like,
oh man, this is hard.
Yeah.
That's right. So technique is super important.
Yeah.
Anybody can do these improperly, but to do them properly, it takes skill. It takes a professional kind of guiding you and trying to take you through these.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the McGill Big Three. Like, we love McGill. He's amazing.
Sure.
We're super grateful for him. If anybody doesn't know, he's been super influential in the musculoskeletal physical therapy chiropractic world. Just really good information, and we're grateful for him and his work. Can you describe quickly, before we run out of time, what are those McGill Big Threes?
Yep. So it consists of the McGill curl up, the bird dog, and then the side plank. All of them are great exercises, once again, when done properly. It just like activates or strengthens pretty much all of the musculature that you need to stabilize the low back. Like, he's done a lot of research on it, done EMGs to see what those exercises activate, and it stabilizes core, the erector spinae muscles, the multifidi, which are deep down in there, really important for stabilization. So it's just a really good all-rounder in terms of working on low back stabilization and working on the mechanical aspect of low back pain.
Yeah, that's great. Well said. So what if somebody wanted to go do these at home and yet was still having some issues with some mechanical low back pain or low back pain in general? When would it be important for them to come see you as a chiropractor, one who really spent a lot of time and education on learning the ins and outs of mechanical low back pain? What can you, with your skill sets, offer them beyond these 5 exercises?
Yeah. I'd say, a lot of times, there's a lot more that can be done, but these are just some easy ones, obviously, to try at home. And that's what I would say is if you're experiencing low back pain that seems mechanical or what have you, I'd say give these exercises a try. If you're not seeing any improvement, or if symptoms are getting worse or anything like that, then I think that's the time to go see, a healthcare professional like chiropractor, physical therapist, either one. And I think a lot of times, especially when it comes to mechanical low back pain, things can just get stuck, man.
That's right.
Joints can kind of get really restricted and not move very well, and that can kind of limit your ability to improve, right? And so a lot of times us getting in there, manipulating the area, getting it moving better will help just take some pressure off of those joints and then help further improve that low back pain.
Yeah, so there's value and wisdom in trying at home what you can do for yourself, ice, other stretches that you can find to help yourself. And we're super big advocates on using the patient for their own well-being, like, educating the patient in what they can do at home, but then also providing things in the office that they can't do at home to help the physiological responses, the histological responses, the inflammation, the swelling, the pain, the muscle spasms. We can dry needle, we can do laser, we can do shockwave to kind of help facilitate you getting better quicker. There's definitely things that you can do at home, and we would want to encourage you to do those as well. However, there are times when seeking a professional is wise. And so we would encourage you, try these 5 exercises at home. If those are helping, great. Leave us a comment below. If there's anything that we can do for you, we're here. We're Knoxville Spine Sports. And our slogan is Together for Health. We're in this with our patients for their well-being.